Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, today I want to explain the basic parts of a narrative paragraph in a simple way. Well, look at what each part means, like the topic sentence, beginning, event, climax, and conclusions. So you can understand how a story flows. Let's go through it step by step and make it easy to follow. So, the title is A Morning at the Beach. This is the paragraph. Explanation of the narrative paragraph. So, this is the paragraph. Last Sunday, I had one of the most peaceful mornings of my life when I decided to watch the sunrise at Senggigi Beach. I left my house while the sky was still dark, and the cold air made my body shiver a little. When I arrived at the beach, the sound of the waves softly hitting the shore made me feel calm. A few minutes later, the sun began to rise slowly, painting the sky with orange and pink colors like a beautiful watercolor painting. As I sat on the sand, I felt the warm rays touching my face, and the gentle breeze made everything feel perfect. Suddenly, a small wave rested my feet, making me laugh because it felt cold and surprising. That simple moment reminded me that peace often comes from the beauty of nature. It was a morning I will always remember. So now I will explain the topic sentence. This is the topic sentence. Last Sunday, I had a peaceful and unforgettable morning while watching the sunrise at Senggigi Beach. In the topic sentence, I introduced the main idea of my story. Here, I explained that I expressed a calm and memorable morning while watching the sunrise at Senggigi Beach. This sentence tells the reader what my whole paragraph will be about. So next, the beginning event is at the beginning of the day, I left home while the sky was still dark and headed to the beach, hoping to catch the sunrise. In the beginning event, I describe how my experience started. I tell the reader that I left my house early, while it was still dark, to go to the beach. This part set the scene and start my story. So next is the following event. Then I arrived at the quiet beach and listened to the gentle sound of waves. Next the sunrise slowly colored the sky with beautiful shades of orange and pink. So after that, I sat on the sand and enjoyed the warm sunlight and cool morning breeze. So in the following events, I describe the sequence of actions that happen one after another. I explain how I arrived at the peaceful beach. Listen to the sound of the waves. Watch the sunrise paint the sky. And sat on the sand, enjoy the morning air. This detail show the flow of my experience step by step. So next is climax or turning point. The most surprising moment happened when a small wave suddenly splashed into my feet, making me laugh because of the cold shock. In the climax, I share the most exciting or surprising part of my story. A small wave suddenly touched my feet, and I laughed because it was cold and unexpected. This moment becomes of the highlights of my experience. So next is ending event. Uh, Finally, I stayed for a while, enjoying the peaceful atmosphere until the sun rose fully above the horizon. In the ending event, I explain how my story comes to a close. I spent a little more time at the beach, enjoying the calm morning until the sun rose completely. This part ends the sequence of the event smoothly. So, and the last is concluding sentence. From that morning, I learned that nature can bring deep peace and happiness, even in the simplest moment. In the, in the concluding sentence, I share the reflection or lesson I learned from my experience. I realized that nature can bring peace and joy through simple, quiet moments like watching a sunrise. Okay, that's all my presentations. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.